Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to kind of give a inside scoop, kind of read through a little bit of a few things in the news today regarding AMC and GME and the the two stocks, why they're up. As you can see right now, AMC is at 1942. It's as you can see 249. It's May 26th, and GameStop is also up 12.97%. And why that's happening, what's going on, what's making these things go up, and at the same time, what's going on going to happen in the future? Are we going to have the short squeeze? What's the real plan with the elites in there in charge? And so I want to kind of read a few things to you, let you guys kind of know so you can make the best investment decision for yourselves. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude on the internet. I did have shares of GameStop and AME. I did actually AMC. I'm sorry, I say AME because it's GME. AMC. I did have shares of AMC. I sold them at $14, and I sold my GameStop shares back at 160. Now, do I look stupid for doing that? Yeah, I do, because they're both much higher now, as you can see that. But I was up, and I had profited what I felt my comfort amount was, and so I got out. But that does not mean that you have to sell. And I just kind of want to give you the information so you guys can make the best investment decisions for you. So this one comes from Fox Business, and I just picked a few things that I thought were really good explanations as to what's going on, the sentiment in the marketplace, why things are happening. And there's a really good article I want you guys to see. I'll show you guys at the end, and the guy explains it very well. It's written about a month ago, but it's still really good information for you to have if you are invested in those stocks. So stay tuned to the end. I'll let you guys know in that. But basically, this is the article from today. This is from Fox Business. It says, in its latest effort to enter the e-commerce space, GameStop launched a new website dedicated to non-fungible tokens and NFTs, right? And we know about those from the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency world. NFTs are sold and bought via the blockchain. Non-fungible tokens allow authenticity and ownership by encrypting a creator's signature. The NFT platform includes a message from GameStop looking to recruit exceptional engineers, Solidity, React, Python designs, all these kind of things, right? And just so you can see that is a legitimate thing, here we are, nft.gamestop.com. They came out, power to the players, power to the creators, power to the collectors, and it's actually a pretty cool little thing. This is their wallet address, and it says we are building a team. We welcome exceptional engineers, designers, gamers, marketers, and community leaders. If you want to join our team, send your profile or something you've built to the NFT team at GameStop.com. So this is actually pretty neat. This is what's causing GameStop stock to shoot up, and there's a lot of speculation as to what this is going to mean to GameStop and its shares. Which is why GameStop has shot up, as well as additional things with the short squeeze stuff that the Wall Street bettors are working on, crushing the big guys. So with that, then we come down here to the AMC part of the article. We finally say that we're looking for an increasingly favorable environment. I'm sorry, here we go. Increasingly favorable environment for movie-going and AMC as a company over the coming months. Aaron is the CEO of AMC. He prepared a statement following the company's first quarter earnings release, citing the increased COVID vaccines. That'll actually allow people to start going to the movies and them to be able to fill theaters. So it's just really positive news for AMC and the theaters and movies in general, movie theaters in general. So AMC said it was operating nearly all its domestic theaters and 27% of international theaters, but at limited capacities, right? So that's kind of the state of the market today as to what's going on. This is the article we'll get to in a minute, but it's kind of related to this here. So a lot of the people on Reddit and everywhere else are you can see it on Twitter. People are telling you to sell your shares on Friday because that's when they expect the drop to happen, right? Friday being, let's double check on the date, the 28th, right? And why is that? Well, because your shares, if you voted for what's going on in AMC, where the CEO is requesting to add an additional 500 million shares outstanding to the company's shares, and in this world, that typically would drop the price significantly. Obviously, more shares, market cap is what it is. So your market cap's dictated by the price times the number of shares. Now, if you double the shares, it's almost like a reverse stock split in a weird way, the way that they were asking for it. Now, the way it's not a reverse stock split is that when you reverse stock split it, it would immediately give the company those shares float, like basically the actual shares on the marketplace would double. In this world, it would be the shares held by the company, and they could kind of sprinkle those out as they needed to for additional capital. And so what people are basically concerned about is by doing that, it's going to allow AMC and the big the big holders of short positions to basically lower the price of AMC stock, right? And it's going to lessen their exposure, and you don't want that. You want them to lose the profits from shorting the company, right? At least that's what the diamond hands groups want to do. Whether you're a diamond hand, you believe in any of that, or you're just trying to make some money, that is up to you and your decision to make. But this is their release that they did on May. Just kind of give you an idea of what we're all talking about here. Is AMC Holdings today announced that the board of directors postponed the 2021 annual meeting of stockholders was previously supposed to be held today. The date change will provide additional time for its millions of current individual shareholders to get their voices heard and more time to cast ballots on important shareholder matters. The annual meeting has been rescheduled for July 29, 2021, and a new record date. This is the important, this is what they talk about, of June 2nd has been established for stockholders entitled to attend and vote at the meeting. So that's why they're wanting people to sell off their stocks on the Friday here, because if you don't own the stock on the 2nd, you don't get your vote casted. And if you voted no, that you don't want them to have the additional 500 million shares, then, or if you did, let's say vote earlier, like it says here, the company will deliver a new notice of annual meeting to stockholders of the record date who will need to resubmit their votes even if they had previously voted. So what they're basically saying is if you're not a stockholder on June 2nd and you voted already for this, which I believe the vote was held earlier in April, if you didn't do that, then your vote doesn't count anymore. So that's kind of where the conspiracy of what's going on and what they're trying to do here is at. And if you look here, we can kind of go through the short positions here in AMC. As you can see back here, when it was $2 a share, there was 38 million shares shorted for about $84 million. Oh my gosh, tongue tied there. And then the GameStoppers and everybody kind of came in and flooded the market, started buying these shares because they knew what was going on, and they kind of discovered this short squeeze. And look at the price going up, but look at how many shares are continuing to be shorted. These guys in these huge hedge funds are just waiting. They're chomping at the bit for the stock to drop. And what basically is happening is people are not dropping the stock's not dropping, it keeps going up. As you can see over time, the AMC stock is going up and up and up. It's up 600% from just December, right? 600% there. And look how many shares, though. The shares outstanding have almost tripled, I guess I would say. What's that, 40? I guess it's doubled in a half, so it's not really almost tripled. So that's what you're looking at, and this is a 1.2 billion shorted. So this is the problem now. If they double the shares, and it almost gets it back to this level in a way, where they could help these guys out that are short 94 million shares, right? And that's what they don't want. So that's the short position here. Now, if you wanted to look at GameStop, they've kind of tapered back down. So as you can see, the number of shares shorted for GameStop are actually a lot lower, and lower as a percentage than they were back in these times when GameStop stock was shooting up a lot higher. They are still high, 20%. Now, I mean, if you go back over to AMC and you look at, I guess it's not going to tell me. It does actually tell me on this report. If we go here and we look at AMC stock, you can actually see the percentage of float shares shorted. Let's see, held by institutions, 25% short percentage of float as of April 30th date. So that's like last month is 19.56%. And for you guys wanting to know float is, it's just the actual number of shares that are actually available for trade, right? It's not like the total shares outstanding. The total shares outstanding, which is actually pretty dang close if you look at these. The shares outstanding, which is held by institutional, insiders, and held by the company, and also held by everybody as well. That's the total shares outstanding, right? But the float is people that actually can actively trade. So like the CEO has shares and stuff. There's a lot of people that inside the company that get shares of the company that aren't really available for trade yet. So that's kind of how that works. I can make a video about how the differences between those. my blabbering probably wasn't as clear without like charts. I'm more of a visual person when I'm learning stuff. So and you see here they've got what 30% now. And if I go back over to the GameStop, yeah, so I mean, basically right around the $50 mark was about 30%. So you might be looking at a massive another pump here from like what you had 30% and it's up to $260, $4 when it was 18% short. So in this range, and we had a pretty good run up. So there actually might be an opportunity there. There is probably another short squeeze coming along for GameStop. I'm not making any predictions. That's not my forte there. I'm not a skilled in the way of short squeezes, but if you just look at the numbers here and you see that they are 30% short here, 29.34, and that's as of May 14th. So surprisingly, they're telling you the date 2 weeks in advance, like 2 weeks ago, and on AMC they're not telling you that percentage. But you go over here to GameStop here, and you can see on 5/14, I mean that's 21%, which is kind of that's a little bit of a delta. It's kind of weird. 30% versus 21% on the same date. Somebody's got their numbers wrong, and that's why you got to take things with a grain of salt, and that's why you got to look at multiple places, and that's why I got all these tabs open for you guys, so you guys can see the real story of what's going on. But anyways, I mean, it's still a solid amount. I mean, look at the stock has stayed heavy above this price here with these shares shorted at this point, and now that they've gone up and they've got this NFT thing going on, that might spook some of these the big hedge funders that have tons of money in there. They might just sell off and get their shorts covered just to get out of this stock. It might actually happen. We'll see how this actually plays into effect. So I did want to give you guys one other piece of information here. That was a really good article written by this guy, Sean Williams here. It's on the Motley Fool. And I know that you guys can have your opinions of whoever it is that you guys would like. But he goes through, it's a really good article if you get a chance to read the whole thing. I'm going to share a few of the pieces of information that I found really good and interesting from him. But he kind of goes through the case for AMC. So he said basically there's no shortage of reasons why the Wall Street bets army of investors believe AMC will head higher. Chief is the undergo yet another squeeze, which would be even larger than the one that sent the shares from $2 to $20 in a matter of days earlier the year. As of mid-March, the data from Morningstar showed 49 million shares of AMC were held short, up about 1.2 million shares from mid-February. The hope here is that one or more good news events could cause pessimists to head for the exit, pushing AMC's share price higher. Of course, with AMC's short ratio plummeting in recent months, a sustained short squeeze looks extremely unlikely. I would not. I'm not seeing where he's seeing that. Maybe when he wrote the article, it went from 55 to 49. But now here's the new numbers are doggone double this number. So this article, being that it is a little older, it is still like what I said. It was written on April 11th of 2021. So if we go back for history's sake, April 11th. I guess he did maybe have this data here, but he might have already had all of his research done from this period of time, and this was new information that was being released, right? So, anyways, when I go through that, I have some little fly runner right here. So when I come here, he talks more about AMC is a weeks away from a no-win scenario. So back in March, the company filed a proxy statement with the SEC, put a number of items to vote for shareholders on May 4th. Among with them is the ability to AMC to issue 500 million shares of Class A stock. If approved, this effectively double the existing authorization allowed to 1 billion shares to be outstanding. So this is a statement from the CEO. The dilution is something we care about. We're asking you to approve our authorization of 500 million shares. There's a lot of benefits to our shareholders. They said we'll be sensitive to dilution issues. At the same time, though, there's an opportunity to bolster our cash reserves, an opportunity to buy back debt at a discount, might be an opportunity to defray some of our deferred theater rents, settling with stock instead of cash, maybe some merger and acquisition opportunities where we could buy other companies inexpensively using our stock as currency. I'm not sure about all this stuff, but this is kind of his excuse, right? There's a lot of good reason for them to give us authority to have more shares. Basically, he kind of agrees to using his stock as a currency to make acquisitions when there's 11 billion of convertible, non-convertible debt on its balance sheet. It doesn't really make any sense. But basically, what's happening on May 4th is a no-win situation. This was where I thought it was really interesting, guys. So the no-win situation for AMC, the company shareholders, is to approve the measure. AMC probably guarantees its survival for a long time to come. However, being given a free pass to double the outstanding share count will put a ceiling on the company's share price, and basically, you're going to create so many shares now that you're probably going to sustain your share price. You're not going to let it go. As it goes up, you're going to issue more shares, keep that money for your company. So it kind of sustains the price, so it doesn't really help any of the investors in there. So Meanwhile, if investors vote against the measure, AMC is likely to have a hard time coming up with the capital to survive, having more than $1 billion in cash staves off the company's immediately bankruptcy concerns, but it doesn't do anything to lessen the company's ongoing losses at reduced capacity in theaters, plus $7 billion in debt needing to be repaid in 2026. Basically, AMC has virtually zero hope of lasting another 5 years without being able to issue hundreds of millions of additional shares. So no matter what happens on May 4th, there's no good outcome. Approving the share would seem lesser of the two evils because it would give AMC a long shot survival, but the company's revenues are not expected to hit pre-pandemic levels until at least 2024. So they're not going to start making the money they were making before until at least 2024. And referring back to the single low-digit price seems to be a given. Dilution would need necessary to ensure survival. And so basically that's kind of the both sides of the coin there for you. So while you're in AMC, if you still are, you're in GameStop, these are the things that are going on with those markets. These are things going on with those stocks. So if you are investing there, invest smart. Think about all these scenarios. Don't just think about YOLO. Don't just think about, if you do have profits, think through those things as well. I'm not telling you to sell and I'm not telling you to hold. I'm just letting you know this is what's going on. If you're not doing any of your research, this isn't all the research you should do on a stock, of course, especially one that you own, but this is good information to have so you can make intelligent decisions on what you want to do with your stock and with your shares. Like I said, I don't own any right now of either one of those. I did buy them. I did sell them. If they did drop, I'd probably buy back in. I'm just now at a point where I thought, the stock was going to go back down again and I'd get back in. So right now I'm out of both of them, but doesn't mean that I still don't care about them, right? So I don't care about the people that are in there trying to take out the big hedge funds. We all know we don't like those guys and how they manipulate the markets, all the markets, not just these two stocks. So with that, guys, I hope that was good information for you guys. Hope it helps you guys make a good decision on what you want to do with your money and how you want to invest it. And with that, I hope you guys give me a like or a sub or ask me any other questions about any other stocks to review. I kind of do things a